How's it going? Well, I saw a couple of lawn care videos on here on YouTube, and they were wearing the WorkTunes. Of course, this one has a different headband because I changed it out. Felt the other one was just too wide and too broad, so I put the old style on there with the padded. And what I did was I took electrical tape, which I couldn't think of nothing else, and it's pretty comfortable, doesn't get in the way, and just kind of put the wire back on there, kind of taping in selected areas. But anyway, I noticed that somebody was saying something about sweating in your earmuffs and everything. You can just wipe the sweat right off. I forgot it. Mark CO, I think his name was. And anyway, and I just wanted advice to him. You know, if when you get sweaty earmuffs like that, sometimes I'm in bed and I'm listening to some music. I like listening to these, and I have some like soft material on the inside so it doesn't rub too hard against my ear. Even though these are really comfortable, the padding that they come with are very comfortable. I still like to put some in there, and sometimes it gets pretty hot on my ears. Well, not so much as my ears themselves getting hot, it's just that the sweat, the condensation from that heat coming from my body kind of travels through that little foam piece right there, that real thin foam piece. But anyway, what I wanted to tell you is this is how you get them off, these little pads right here. And these right here, especially when it comes on the wireless WorkTunes, the Bluetooth ones, they're a little bit thinner as they would be on the wired ones. So they're easier on your ears. They're a little bit more softer, and of course they're thicker. You can tell by the plate there. And what I did was I got an extra set from 3M work on Peltor, and you know they sent me out some extra ones. But anyway, I had like 4 or 5 of them. Some of them give away. Crazy. But anyway, this is how you take it off. You take your finger right here. You put your thumb up under here under the lip, and you put your finger right here, or you know, kind of like that. Pull with your thumb, push with this finger, and that's how they come off. So you kind of doing like this, pull them off this. And so what you have here is you have some, I don't know how well you can see that, but you have this little padding that's on there for kind of like what your ear sits up against. And so that's what that is. It's pretty thin. It's got like a little meshy material all over it. Gotta be careful sometimes because sometimes that mesh will come off, and that's why you need a second pair of dampeners and cushions, ear cushions, WorkTunes. Now these right here, these are the one that gains. I mean, they collect all that sweat. I mean, you know, and everything. And what happens is all that condensation, like these have a little bit in there. Oh, you can see a little bit in there. All that condensation that goes through these kind of goes on the back of this, and you really don't want to get into your speakers. So, I mean, that's just me wearing them. Like tonight, I was listening to some stuff on YouTube, watching videos, particularly that one about lawn care, the guy getting these earmuffs, the WorkTune wireless, and I just wore them for like 3 or 4 hours. And so, and you know, that little bit, you know, it depends on how warm you are, your body heat can get you a little bit toasty. And so this thing right here is a little bit wet. It's a little bit sweaty actually. So I don't know if you can see it, but on this side of it right here is a bit sweaty. Now for me, one side of my ear kind of sweat. One part of my body sweats a little bit more than the other, particularly on my ears. And so anyway, usually what I do is I take a rag or something or whatever, paper towel, wipe out the inside of that, and kind of kind of dry this out. You know, I kind of get an idea how much has in it by, you know, pushing against my pants leg or something like that. You don't have to do that, of course, or something other that kind of tells me how much sweat it absorbed, and that kind of gives me an idea of well, dang, you know, how much sweat do I have coming out of me? But anyway, this wasn't a very lot. It was probably something I didn't do yesterday. Whenever I was wearing them. So anyway, this is real easy. You put them back in like so. Make sure this hole in the thing here goes back over the speaker. Kind of got it around there like that. Actually, I meant to wipe that out a little bit. Yeah, it's got a little bit of condensation in there, so I'll just take my shirt. Well, maybe not. Let's take this, my son's sock, and do it. It's a clean sock, so you wash my white clothes anyway. But anyway, it's real simple to do. Get in there, get around that speaker and everything, because you don't want that condensation getting into your speaker, your sweat actually. And well, it condenses from the dampener to the back of the ear cup, so sweat, condensation, whatever you want to call it. And you just put that back in there like so, like that. Yeah, let's see, it's in there like that. Wish I had that light working right. There we go. Get a little bit of light on there. See, that's how that goes. And what you do is you put this back. This doesn't really catch a whole lot of sweat. It's just this dampener right here that goes to the very back. So put that like that right there and back on there. Take your ear cushion, your ear seal. Sometimes you might get some ear seals, especially on the wired ones. You push them against your ear a little hard, they kind of suck on there. I like it when they do that. I like them a little tight. I don't like them too loose. You know, me myself personally. But anyway, you just kind of put this on here like so. Kind of push it like that and it snap right back on. Very simple, very easy, very effective. And once in a while you might have some stuff get in there. Now I'm going to check this one while I'm at it. That way you can see how I did it. You kind of catch it in the lip there. This part right here, where it's a little bit more shallow at. Push away with your fingers and pull with your thumb. And that comes right back off, right back off. Anyway, take that one off. And take this out. And it's the same thing with this. This probably has, yeah, so really my left ear sweats a little bit more than my right ear. Go figure. So I'm going to dry that out. Got some fuzz on there. Because like I said, I put some soft stuff in there. Like, really it's acrylic, like off earmuffs and stuff. And kind of real soft against my ear. It kind of helps me sleep better whenever I do listen to radio. And sometimes, you know, it just kind of, I thought it might kind of keep the sweat out, but evidently don't. So I might have to change my view on that. People who are who do stuff in the snow or like when it's cold, it might be a good thing for you to do that. Put acrylic in there or whatever, or some kind of lining or fleece lining inside your ear cup there, and I think you'll enjoy it. But anyway, let me get this dried off real quick. And so it's the same way. There you go. And push it like that. Push it around the speaker. Of course, make sure your speaker ain't wet. Isn't wet. Ain't wet. I'm redneck, so I say, yeah, I want to. Oh. Anyway, put that back on there like so. Like I said, if you want to get some, they'll send you some more. Just tell them you'd like to have a replacement part for your WorkTunes, and whether they're wireless or whether they're wired, Bluetooth or wired, and they should send you some. So what they send you is this, and they'll send you this right here plus the dampener. But anyway, I'm gonna put this back on real quick. Getting in the 10-minute mark, and I like to put the 3M side up. I don't know if you can see that. There it is right there. It says 3M. I like to put that side up, straight up. Kind of push it in there like So there you go. Just that simple. And then you can slip them over your ears. Go back to what you were doing, cutting grass, what have you, mowing the lawn, you know, jogging, exercising, vacuuming the house. They're pretty good. So, hope that helps. See you later.